DNA damage is a really fundamental cause that drives the aging process. And what we increasingly learn nowadays is how many physiological processes are affected by DNA damage, by the response to DNA damage. And that's really how we learn to appreciate how complex the consequences of DNA damage are.
Fantastic. So you said something about response to DNA damage, and you also mentioned premature aging diseases, which I'll get to later. But in terms of the response to DNA damage, we do have DNA repair mechanisms. So what is happening with age? Is it that the DNA repair mechanisms are failing us, or is it that DNA damage overload is becoming too much to bear?
So that's a very interesting question. So if you imagine that there's now all the time DNA damage occurring, and repair is not perfect. It's very, very good, but nothing is perfect. So it is indeed possible that there's a gradual accumulation. And now, why is DNA repair not perfected? And that is because our somatic tissues only have to last for an individual's lifespan. And we hate to hear that, but traditionally humans are not made to live as long as we want to live nowadays, because it only mattered that we could pass on our genes to the next generation. And for humans that, until the next generation can run the business and be up and running and reproducing themselves, it takes about a human generation of like 30 years, maybe 40 years. And until then, our repair mechanisms are really good enough. In germ cells, they're of course functioning much better. So germline mutations are about 2 orders of magnitude lower than the somatic mutations in somatic cells. So yes, there are better repair mechanisms than our somatic cells have. We have them in our germ cells, but of course the proficiency of also investing into DNA repair is limited to what has been required in our evolutionary history to maintain our bodies. And other species have different DNA repair and DNA damage response mechanisms that are always adapted to what is necessary, really. And so, of course, a vision of our work is really to, in the future, being able to enhance DNA repair, augment DNA repair. But it's a very, very complex process. But we are learning how we could figure that out.